Hey guys, and welcome back. So, quick update on what's been happening. My S9 Plus got sort of smashed up in the car door, so I was a few days without a phone, well, a week. So, I've now got an S10 Plus, so the camera's a lot better actually, and it makes it easier to do better videos and stuff like that. So, I lost 3 videos on my old phone that I can't get off because the screen's that far gone. I can't do everything to connect it to the computer properly. So I'll be remaking those videos over the next few days. But for those of you who are wondering what this is, you would have seen it on Instagram if you're follow the Instagram. If not, I'll try to link it in the description below. This is a 1974 Mahindra Jeep. So, for those of you who don't know what Mahindra Jeeps are, they're a Jeep body made in India, to my understanding, by on license by Mahindra. So the difference between the Mahindra and the Willys Jeep was the Mahindra was longer for memory. They were right-hand drive, not left-hand drive, factory. And if you're familiar with the grills have one extra bar, and that is literally the only difference. So, the difference between this one and a factory Mahindra is that it's running a 4.1 Ford Falcon. Let's pull those back. So, for those of you who have Mahindra, are interested in building a purpose-built bog truck or mud truck, the 4.1 Falcon's carbureted bolt straight to your Mahindra gearbox. So over the next few days I'll do some videos on this because this motor is coming out. It's toast. It's set for 5-6 years outside in the rain with no cover, and then previously another 5 years in a shed. It was my father and my granddad's competition truck back in the 90s, and pretty much with my daughter growing up now, I wanted to rebuild this truck because I had so many memories hunting in it. When I was a kid, I want her to be able to do the same thing. So a basic run through is we've got a 4.1 Falcon. We've got a very large power steering unit, direct shaft to inside. Now this thing is a mix-up of a lot. That is a tractor power steering unit. That is a Toyota Booster. That is an aftermarket Master. The radiator is out of a 70 series Land Cruiser. The motor is a Falcon, as I've said. The exhaust is home built. Comes out there, goes round, up and off. The front assembly is held on by 13 bolts. 2 strut braces that go across, made out of square box section. The wheels are Firestone SATs, which they stopped making. Best tyre for 4-wheel driving ever, period. Don't care if you have your Super Swampers, your Jungle Trekkers, whatever you got. These will beat them in mud. Interior wise, we've got 5-point harnesses. We've got some old, I think from memory they were Valiant or Falcon seats. Old school steering wheel. Anyone recognises it, let me know, because I've got no clue what's off. Your whole start-stop system, so you've got a fire starter, fire key, you've got start button, fan switch was there, that was your other switch, and that was, can't remember what that was, but yep. Steam pipe roll cage. Now this is not welded to the chassis, so the roll cage is bolted, sleeved through it and plated, so you can sort of see the extremely sturdy plates they put in, and they've done it on the chassis as well. Pedal setup's the same. Things have been changed underneath, so we're going through fully rewiring it. Fuel tank is off a digger. So that is a hydraulic tank off a digger. And this is my replacement motor for it. So we've got a short block, well long block, minus the water pump. 4.1 Falcon. So this is what they look like. This one's out of a ute. Current one is out of a car for memory. Got flywheel. Brand new intake gasket. So it's been a long day. If you've seen the Instagram, I'm enjoying my smoke. yeah, so it sort of gives you an idea. Now this truck was shortened by 6 inches, so it was cut through there, cut on the other side. They shortened the chassis and the body, shortened the rear half of the drive shaft, and put it all back together. Welded, sleeved, everything's done. This truck has seen crashes, it's seen rollovers, and has never bent. The chassis is straight. The suspension is stiff, but if I jump up on it, it's still workable. These are the factory Mahindra struts, and have never been replaced. So these were built in 1974. Drum brakes all round. It has no handbrake. It is solely brake. It's 4-wheel drive and 2-wheel drive selectable. And the other one is the diffs, if you've ever seen them before, are offset. So if you, I don't know if we'll be able to get it up decently. This diff is literally probably 400mm or 40 centimeters from the right wheel, the long shaft to the left, and the one in the back, I'll show you on the factory one, there's a bit of fuel and shit on the ground, is actually set near dead center. And the idea was so that you can clear things going over and then come back. But yeah, so this vehicle is pretty, the shell is, the subframe is stock standard besides being shortened. Engine mount wise, they are the same. The Falcon mounts, well, they're actually Mahindra mounts on a Falcon motor, go straight in. Everything bolts up except the firewall has to be extended, as you can see from cutting there. And in fact, like the last 2 cylinders, 1.5 cylinders are under the firewall. And has to be custom in here. Yeah, so the plan for this vehicle is I want to get the Falcon in it. We're going to pull this one out this week, probably tomorrow. Strip the carbs off it, strip everything off, flip it upside down, take the race oil pump out of it, the water pump off, reseal everything, put it back on. The new motor, pull that one out, rewire the entire truck, which is pretty basic because it runs a Bosch coil. So we've got old school standard Bosch coil. And yeah, so it's pretty straightforward. There's nothing too complicated about this vehicle. The whole design of it was to be less electronic, so this is an injector motor converted to carbureted. Never ran properly due to that reason. They just could not get it to run. It used to drop number 6. But yeah, so it's sort of hard to show you everything with it being a pass at the moment. I've got the GoPro, or the SJ4000, call it GoPro because it looks the same. That'll be being set up in the roof, which will give you a full down view of us pulling the motor out and putting, like, doing everything. We're going to check the bushes, check everything, pull the bearings out, check the bearings, because this vehicle's sat for a while and we want to make sure everything goes. Need the headlights, I'll probably LED convert. But yeah, so, and you might have seen some other videos, we have a fully factory one out behind the shed walls as a spare. So that's good. That's, yeah, pretty good. So yeah, this is quite interesting. I don't actually know. Oh, here it is. So this here is, it'll probably be a bit hard to get viewed, is the tag off it. So it's 1974, it's a CJ4A 4H pattern, so reverse, first, second, third, so it's only 3-speed. They're all your specs, factory, all the factory bits and pieces. So I took this off the parts vehicle. This one's the exact same year. We're going to mount this on the wall because we like collecting stuff like that. But yeah, so it sort of gives you an idea of the newest toy slash bringing back thing we're doing at the moment. So coming up, there'll be a few drifting videos, there'll be some 4-wheel drive trip videos, because we'll take this into Lake Daniels Thompson's Flat on a trip. I'll probably do some runs up at my granddad's to get used to this again. I've driven it a couple of times around the paddocks, but I've never actually given it a full go because I was quite young when I did it. And yeah, it'll be a fun build. It'll be a bit different. I'm going to have to get more custom lines done, so the power steering lines are all customed, obviously because of that. So it runs from there all the way around the front and comes to the back of the power steering unit. Yeah, it's pretty simple. Pretty basic setup. I'm going to need new hoses. Radiator hoses are shagged, and if you can see, you might not be able to see this one sort of hard, but they've been sleeved and all sorts of stuff. I'll try to find the other one. Where'd they go? It's just kicking around here somewhere. I'll put a photo up, but it shows you sort of, this truck was literally put together in 3 days by my dad and my granddad and his mates at the time. They got the body, they put the motor in, they shortened it, they did everything, put the motor in, got it running, did events and it blew the motor up, and they just kept swapping motors out. So it's a bit of a cool wee toy. Things are going pretty well on it. CF update, I've pretty much run out of patience on the thing. I need a break from it. Me and the boys have spent hours in here the last week and a bit going through, checking everything, fucking head to toe, and it will not start still. I put a fair bit of money into it, and I pretty much hit the point of either sell the CF as it sits, or I'm going to pull the 25 out and put the 20E out of my 33 in it. So that does have rough lifters, but it gets the car driving, and then I can pull the 25 out, head to toe it, check everything, and go over that. And then I'll probably buy another loom ECU, or probably buy a loom, a fresh from Japan unmolested loom that hasn't had everyone cut into it over the years, because that loom that's in it came out of a CF originally, was modified to run a 3334 S14, I think it is, or 33 in S14, because it came out of an S14. So we're not sure whether what they did to make it run an S14 has changed, was the reason why it won't run in the CF. We've checked everything, ejectors, coils, casses. We've tried pretty much everything under the sun we could think of, and we still can't get it running. So that's just one of those things. It's cars, and these cars are getting on, what, 20 years, something like that. So like, the looms aren't brand new, and to buy a brand new loom you pay megabucks for. To buy a brand new cache, I saw them on Trade Me, someone's got them listed out of Auckland for $800 for a brand new cache. Like, I'd rather go buy 10 second-hand caches before I buy a brand new one, simply because I cannot justify spending $800 on a cache. I'd rather go buy the Franklin Engineering cam angle sensor, which are way better than factory ones. I'm putting one on my 20. So yeah, it's a bit of an update for you guys. The 33 is going to have the motor pulled out this week, and the engine bay is going to we're stripping everything out, and the engine bay is going to be painted. So we'll be doing I'll be doing a video of setting up your own paint booth at home to paint your engine bay or your whole car, completely up to you. So it's pretty cheap, pretty simple. Really, you need a decent sized compressor. So we've got a big one sitting over the back there. And what we're using is a marquee, which we're buying from the warehouse for $100. So pretty cheap. It's fold down and it's multi-use. Like, at the end of the day, I paint the car in it, and then a couple of months down the track, I paint another car, paint another engine bay, whatever. Use it for drinks, the good stuff. Anybody who says otherwise is on the wrong channel. They're not sponsored, but Double Brown is the absolute best beer I've ever had. Don't like it? Subscribe to someone else. No, joking. But yeah, hit subscribe, share it around your friends. It's a good laugh. But yeah, guys, so it gives you an update, gives you a heads up on what's coming up, things to expect. Got asked if I went to the car meet on Friday night, Nelson Invasion. Didn't bother going. Police were all over it. I toyed with putting the loom back in the 33 because all I'd have to do is plug the loom back in and I fill the radiator and I could go. But again, cops were all over it. I thought about it. It would take me probably an hour to get the car going again, and then I was sitting there having a smoke out on the deck and saw the cops pull over 3 people outside my house. So I wasn't going to risk losing my license and the car, because at the end of the day it's just stupid. It's not worth it. And I don't approve street racing, drifting, any of that, but we do what we got to do to have fun. Like, at the end of the day, some people buy shoes, some people go shopping, some people jump out of aeroplanes with parachutes on for God knows why. Why jump out of a perfectly good aeroplane? Yeah, but cars, trucks, going fast, going sideways is our thing. And in Nelson, we don't have the ability to go to a track. The closest one's 5 hours away. Kaikoura's there, but the track is a bit rough, and again, it's a couple hours away. We have nothing right here to use. And the other thing with tracks is you have to book them out. You pay $500. You book the whole track out, which is not a big cost, but then you've got to get enough people to actually make it worth it. So we will be doing that in the future. When the 33 and the Ceph are going, I'll trailer one down and drive one down. So if you're in New Zealand, if you're in the South Island, and you're interested in a track day, leave a comment below, message me on Instagram, because we are sort of going through the process of booking out Ruapuna. We're getting costs and requirements of what we need and what vehicles that go on the track will need. But yeah, and if you're in Nelson and you guys have four-wheel drives in that and would be interested in doing a sort of a fun day up on private property, so you don't have to worry about people like councils and all that shit. I've got my granddad owns a sheep station. We used to run competitions up there, so we can, when I test this, I can organise an event up there for people who are interested. Again, flick me a message on Instagram. If you don't have my Instagram, it'll be in the description below. And yeah, share this around your mates. Post it up wherever you want. Don't really care. You don't like channel, well, don't like what a video. That's fine. Go find someone else. I can link Barbie below if you really care. Yeah, have a good one, guys, and enjoy motor swaps.